Hey friends, hope all is well out there. Just wanted to take a moment to check in from the Return to Nature Herbal Apothecary and see lots of our lovely herbs behind all around. So I just wanted to show everybody a couple new things. Really excited about here. We're stocking up for the Bucks County Healthy Living Fest. So we made a couple new formulas. One of them is called the Immuno Magic formula, and that has a whole bunch of herbs: yarrow, red clover, osha, stinging nettle, gallium, cleavers, ashwagandha, ganoderma, turkey tail. So that's going to be a really potent immune system herb and mushroom formula for cold and flu season, which is coming up. Really been enjoying this Digest Ease formula. This is Pau de Arco, wormwood, and black walnut. Really good combination for any parasites or intestinal infections. And I also designed it against candida, as well as to tighten up the intestinal wall. So any porousness helps to tighten the intestinal wall, but also deal with the porous nature of what happens in many cases. Let's see what else I got here. Then I've got a hormone balance formula. That one's not labeled. I made Datura anointing oil. Pretty excited about that. And this is for anointing your chakras or your third eye. This is a Datura seed oil. And Datura seed is actually an amazing topical. If anybody's interested, I do have a video on YouTube about Datura flower and seed as a topical ointment. So you can check that out at youtube.com/returntonaturesskills. And if anybody's interested, please send us an email at herbalcsa@returntonature.us. It's me and Lauren Roderick working really hard to try to serve the community with herbal remedies and prayerfully, magically crafted herbs and mushrooms. So I go out there and I travel in the Forage mobile, and I tour around and teach on the weekends, and all week I'm exploring and looking around for wild foods and medicines. So I've been harvesting a lot of mushrooms and plants, and I'll dry them in the van and bag them up, and then come to the apothecary and just like spin in circles and make all kinds of medicines like the Tasmanian angel, and then stock up the van and go to foraging classes and go on tour. So I'd love to visit you all. Really looking forward to a year of magical stuff. I mean, this is only the 4th month I've been in the Forage mobile, so really just getting things in order and getting the flow down. So I've gone from Massachusetts to upstate New York to eastern Pennsylvania, all the way down to Maryland so far. And I'll be continuing to do a fall tour, thinking about headed down to Virginia, Maryland area to do a pawpaw harvest, and then come back up to New Jersey to teach a couple winter retreats. So looking forward to that, camping, cabin living, teaching primitive skills, ceremonies, things like that. Abby, hey there. Abby says, come to Midwest Herb Fest next year in Southern Indiana. Definitely hope to come out there. My plans were this winter to go out to the West Coast and do a tour. However, things have been slower. I decided that I should stick to the East Coast in the winter, possibly, so that I can finish my book, which I'm almost done with. I'm still researching into self-publishing versus just engaging a publishing company. That's a whole big thing. So if you're some kind of expert, if you're watching this and you're an expert in that, please get in touch with me. I've got the book pretty much 99% written. It's just a matter of how to get it out there. Shipping books, it's a really big deal to do self-publishing. So really excited about that endeavor. So over the winter, hopefully in the spring, I'll have a book release. This October, I'm at least hoping that I'll have enough money to put the floor in the van and put the solar on. We're going to do a workshop with Antononco Earth Arts School in Homedale, New Jersey, where Alex is going to help with putting the solar on the roof and then rigging some electrical inside the van. That'll be the first step. And then from there, I can insulate it and put the walls up. So I hope to do that before the winter so that I can live inside of a cold situation more comfortably. So that will hopefully give a couple of electrical sockets, give the ability to have power in the van without running the van. So I'm really excited about that. Unfortunately, the AC is busted, and sadly, there's a sensor in the side mirror. So it's going to cost like $350. It's almost fixed, but I just toured for like 2 months, and I was really excited because I raised $1,000, and now it's pretty much going to go back into the van. I've got to fix the mirror. Also, the gas tank is not working, so the gas keeps shutting off when people are trying to pump it. So apparently that's going to cost like $400 or $500. And then I put a scratch like 2-3 months ago. I put a scratch in the van, making a turn. I didn't make it wide enough. It's a big van, and scratched the side of the van to this metal. So that will rust. So I can't put the insulation on that. So I'm really excited that I raised $1,000 working really hard, and it's going right back into the van. So if you would like to help support this endeavor, help to get the Forage Mobile to a place beyond just maintenance, please feel free to check out gofundme.com/return to nature. And feel free, you can always make a donation or buy herbal goodies from us. That really helps. And come to classes and help spread the word of classes. You know, this is a community-created effort. This is my life and my life work. That's it. And so it's been really fun, been touring around, and what I want to do with the van is put a back seat in there. So the next step after the flooring and then the insulation and the walls is to put a back seat, and from there have the ability to pick people up and take them on a Forage Mobile tour and kind of take them to the woods and take them to my favorite foraging spots and show them around. So that'll be coming soon, like basically foraging safari tours. Really excited about that endeavor too. Plus, if I can raise enough money to rotate the front seats, then this is going to be really exciting, because there'll be 2 front seats that rotate to the back, and then there'll be 3 more seats in the back. And that will enable a face-to-face discussion, which then I can have a microphone inside of there, and that will be a podcasting studio as well as a recording studio for music as well as podcasts. So the Return to Nature Radio podcast will be coming as soon as I get that going. That's going to be really exciting. So if you'd like to help donate, that's what you're donating towards. Literally every penny I get is going into that, because that is the vision. I want to be able to provide, like when I'm traveling, if I meet somebody who's amazing, I want to be able to provide them an indoor space which has, you know, all the fix-ins. I can make them a cup of tea and have them podcast in the van, and also do Facebook Live and things like that. So these are the plans for the rest of 2017 into 2018. Really looking forward to sharing with you all and continuing to just share in the medicine teachings. You know, I was just talking to somebody, and I've been harvesting a lot of lobelia. They mentioned how it's possible that if you tincture lobelia with vinegar, it doesn't make you vomit at high doses. So, you know, it's just great to have these interactions and these herbal discussions with you all, because I'm learning too. So it's really amazing. Catherine, how's it going? Said, you have come far from where you began. Amen. How goes your book writing? As I mentioned, my book is finished. It's just a matter of publishing at this point. You know, I need to clean things up, do some more layout, but I really need to work with either a publishing company and just get it out there, or figure out how to have a self-publishing team, which is really difficult. Ebooks, I mean, you know, ebooks can only go so far, and publishing physical books is very expensive. So I basically have the option to maybe do another crowdfunder. I mean, I don't know, maybe I'm totally tapped out on the option of doing crowdfunders, but I thought that if I did a pre-sale for the book, you know, if I offered the book for $15 or $25 with a promise to send it out to you, and then I took that money and I invested it into printing, because printing books is extremely expensive. To do like 400 copies will probably cost like $3,000 or $4,000. So, you know, that's really the thing. And then where to store all these books and how to ship them out is going to be a fun thing. So I thought about writing some emails to some publishing companies that I really appreciate and seeing if they pick up the book, looking into what exactly you have to send them. I don't like the idea of not having my hands on layout and design, because I really want to make it an interactive layout design situation. Frankie says, I would be definitely interested. Good to hear. Catherine says, try story publishing. That's awesome. There's also like Bear and Co. and Inner Traditions. These are all really cool publishing companies. So, there's always more work to do. I think that's the thing for all of us is like you can only push so hard and we got to pace ourselves. And I think in this process, I'm learning to really extend the plan. Like the 3-year plan is the 10-year plan. The 1-year plan is the 2-year plan. So trying to learn how to pace all this and organize it into a way that's systematic and encompasses and invites you all into it. So always down for feedback, suggestions, ideas, questions. I do consultations as well. If anybody's interested or needs help in any way, feel free to ask for an herbal consultation. Anything like that is totally welcome. I really appreciate you all for being part of this endeavor, and I pray that we can return to nature together. I know that this is only the beginning of a vision which many of you have to rebuild sustainable communities all over the planet and create these hubs of solutions. So, my contribution in that is to help people realize that these weeds, these invasive plants that nobody knows what to do with, are the solution towards a cottage industry. And those are exactly what we should turn to for our food and medicine. And if we did, we'd have abundant, fast-growing, free food and medicine, which would appease invasive plant management. So it's a win-win. Miranda asks, let me get to Catherine says, is it your book proposal that must do the selling before you can get where you want? It is your book proposal that must do the selling before you can get to where you want to go. So my question is, what exactly is a book proposal versus do I do synopsis of each chapter? Is that what I'm supposed to submit to a publishing company? Maybe somebody out there knows. Miranda mentions, do I do online ukulele lessons? I definitely can, but I actually don't play the ukulele. I play the guitar. So I'm always down to do guitar lessons. And what I did to the ukulele that I have is I totally broke it and I turned it into a guitar. So the tuning is not ukulele tuning. I got rid of that high pitch string at the top, which to me is completely irrelevant and in the way. So it's actually tuned E, A, D, G. I found a string to put on the lower string. So it's just like a guitar. So I play the guitar on it. I just don't have the higher 3 strings. So, or maybe 2 strings, higher 2 strings. So I grew up playing the bass. That was the first instrument I ever played. So it's basically the ukulele I play, if anybody's seen me playing, is basically like a bass, and I play chords on it. So I'm basically playing the guitar or the bass. So that said, I can always give lessons on guitar or bass, anything like that. So always welcome too. Catherine says, everyone is different for each publishing company. That's really good to know. Maybe I should just email them and ask them what their prerequisites are. Maybe that's a possibility. I also want to mention, I just did 2 podcasts yesterday, really great stuff with Fungi Flora. That one's coming soon. He has a YouTube channel. And I also did one with, it's on my homepage, blanking on his name. Here I go, researching. So if anybody's interested, we had a really great discussion yesterday on basically herbal mysticism, and it was really fun to kind of explore those ideas. So Truth Sika with an H, and it's on my homepage. It's actually on my profile picture. So that was a really fun conversation we had, probably 2 hours talking about psychedelics and shamanism and healing and spirituality and magic. So that's really fun. Ray Mills Sargent says, have I looked into a mentor at score.org? Of course, I don't have any money, so I doubt they're going to help me. I can't pay people. I'm a poor-ass forager taking donations, begging you to buy 1 tincture at a time. So that looks pretty professional, and therefore I probably can't afford it. But if it's free, let me know. Oh, nice. Woohoo! Yeah, I'll definitely look into that. That sounds really cool. Nice, Ray. Thanks for the hookup. So with that all said, does anybody have any questions? I'm totally... Stacy says, where's that discussion found? I mentioned doing that podcast. If you go on my Facebook page right now, on the wall, you can see it posted. It's all on my Facebook wall, so you can check that out. So also to remind you, all the live Facebook that I do, or all the live videos that I do, I'm doing them on Instagram, which is instagram.com/return-to-nature. Join there. And I'm also doing live videos on this page, as well as kind of have it saved for the Return to Nature Facebook page. That's kind of like for like formal workshops and stuff. This is just for like talking and communicating. So with that said, if you want to join live, feel free to join me on Instagram if you're not on there as well. And then I also post them all on youtube.com/Return to Nature Skills. So if you're ever interested to just like, put that on in the background, listen to some herbal stuff, you'll probably get a couple tips here and there. So feel free to check that out as well. Shannon Mulligan says, I know you do a lot in the Princeton area. How about some in Bergen County? Which towns are in Bergen County? I'll definitely get around New Jersey, especially in the fall. I'll be there. Let's see. This weekend, I'll be teaching tomorrow in Howell, New Jersey. The day after that, I'll be at Bucks County Healthy Living Festival. Next weekend, Saturday, I will be at the Garden of Healing in New Brunswick. We'll be doing an equinox celebration where I'll be teaching plant sense meditations. I'm going to bring an herbal tea and drink it with people and guide them into basically having their body interpret the medicinal effects of the plants. So feel free to come to that. And then the next day, I'll be teaching in New Brunswick at a park. So if you're interested to go foraging, I'm going to kind of call it getting nuts in the woods. So if anybody wants to explore wild nuts and other fruits and wild foods, you can feel free to send me an email at dan@returntonature.us if you want to come to the New Brunswick classes. And then from there, I may head down south. That's what I'm looking at. Hey, Derek, welcome. Thank you, brother. Lauren says, what herbs are you excited about at this time? I just finished another 1.5 gallons of maitake tincture, double extract, and reishi tincture, and I'm super fired up about medicinal mushrooms. So this is reishi, chaga, and maitake, and that's really an amazing blend. And I've also been doing turkey tail, things like that. So definitely enjoy and ask if you're interested to get some of that. So I'm really excited about medicinal mushrooms. I think they're so important. They've helped me so tremendously with like feeling like, gosh, I just ate like Easy Mac and Hot Pockets and Pepsi, my whole childhood, and Honey Nut Cheerios, and learning more about the lymph system. And I think that the lymph system, when clogged, causes systemic inflammation, which leads to autoimmune disorder. And I think we all have mild autoimmune disorder, which is causing a lot of allergic reactions, and chronic inflammation is a huge problem. It's basically the leading cause of all diseases. I think that if you have that experience and you wait 20 years and do nothing, you will get to the point where you will have cancer or autoimmune disorder. So I'm a real big fan of the idea that medicinal mushrooms kind of reset the body's cellular integrity. It resets the immune system's ability to discern between what is my cells and what are foreign cells, and helps to detoxify the foreign cells. So I'm really excited about those. Cool, Shannon. Hope to see you in New Brunswick. Otherwise, I'll be in Princeton, I think in mid-September. So that's also a possibility as well. We'll be having a wedding for Alec and Lauren, who are some friends at Cherry Valley Cooperative, which is a great organic farm outside of Princeton, New Jersey. So check that out. They're getting married. You can't come to the wedding. It's obviously private, but you can shop there from their farm fresh veggies. Right now, they got tons of cantaloupe and watermelon going on. So really great farmers out there. They have 100 acres. Agatha says, where do I find the tinctures? So I have a tincture list. Basically, at this point, Lauren Roderick is helping. So we have a tincture list, and we have basically an email, herbalcsa@returntonature.us. And basically, if you are interested, just send us an email, and we'll send you over the tincture list and the price list. I'll also post it below in the comment section. So that's basically how things go. Do we ship internationally? As long as we can, and as long as you're willing to pay for the shipping, we'll ship anywhere. But I don't know that liquids can be shipped internationally. So we also make tea blends and other things. Does anybody else have any herbal questions or any questions for me? I'd love to hear. So feel free, don't feel shy, and ask me anything you want. Also got really fun thing. So this is OSHA. Smell it? I got this wildcrafted from Michael Cottingham. He's online and is a wildcrafter out in the desert Southwest, and he sent me, I think it was a pound of fresh OSHA root, which I tinctured, and now I have the mark here, and it's so fragrant that what I'm going to do is actually make OSHA infused honey. It's going to be amazing. So I'm going to grind this into a blender and then put it in honey and leave it for a few months to let it extract, strain it out, and then I'll have this wonderful, delicious OSHA flavored honey, and it'll have a little bit of alcohol in there as well. So really excited about that. That'll be coming soon. Also, in November, I'll start the registration process for the online mentorship, which I'm doing every year, an online foraging and herbalism mentorship, which is basically like a giant year-long webcast scavenger hunt of go out there, find this plant, turn it into this and that. Here's how to do that. And I do live live videos for the students where they can ask any questions they want. So that's really fun, and I'll be taking more students for next year's year of apprenticeship or mentorship, starting in November. So if you're interested in that, be in touch about that. And also, we're going to start I think it's our 4th year, Lauren and I, of our Herbal CSA. We used to call it a CSH, but nobody knows what that means. So what we do is we offer shares, 4 seasonal shares of our herbal goods, mix of all of our herbal goods. Next year, we're looking at some wildcrafted mushroom mixes. You get all kinds of herbal teas and salves and tinctures and infused honeys and smudge bundles and things like that from lots of wildcrafted goodies. So if anybody's interested to help support that, you can also join our Herbal CSA. We have a Facebook group, Return to Nature Herbal CSA. Now called Herbal Apothecary. So check that out as well. It's really important that we take fiscal responsibility for the revolution. And I and Lauren are not Whole Foods. Like, we're human beings. We're not large-scale corporations, and it's very hard to compete in that world. And so just remember, if you're looking for herbal medicine, try to support your local medicine makers or your small crafters. We're the ones going out there, really sustainably harvesting, really caring about the plants, respecting and honoring them, trying to keep a prayerful heart when we harvest, make medicine in good company. And that's all part of the medicine making process and the healing process. So just remember, if it's not us, then, shop on Etsy or go local or whatever it is, because that's so much more important than, large scale corporate practice and processes. So we all need to put our money where our immune system is, and that's what I believe. The reason the healthcare system is failing is because they didn't get this realization that this is the revolution. The food movement, the local food movement, and the herbalism movement are the healthcare revolution, and it's from the ground up. It's truly grassroots, so much they don't even know it exists. So it's perfect, as long as we remember to continue to invest in that. Really put our resources and our time and our money into this, raising this new paradigm, instead of, oh, well, I went to Whole Foods and I got $500 worth of stuff. If you can localize, if you can shop with local, farmers and support CSAs and local herbalists, then you help to build the revolution. That's what it's going to take to create a change, which creates a sustainability paradigm, not voting for another charlatan, another character who's going to lie and cheat and steal. And even Bernie Sanders could only do so much in such a situation where there's so much multiple reality streams and confusion, especially about global warming, which, again, don't focus on is climate change real or global warming real. Focus on what's wrong with sustainable energy, what's wrong with solar jobs, what's wrong with wind jobs, what's wrong with cleaning up local pollution, what's wrong with using less harmful chemicals. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's move towards that. That's what we need to do as a society. Like, that old way is poison. Duh. Look at the cancer rate. It's not like a miracle. It's not like we need millions of hours of research to figure out that spraying Roundup is obviously not healthy. And if you want to say, oh, it's not harmful, then drink it on live webcast. And if you won't, obviously it's harmful. So I would drink water. Water's not harmful. I'll drink apple cider vinegar. I'll drink a lot of things, but not if they're harmful. And if you held me to that, I wouldn't do it. So maybe that's my what do you call that? My challenge If you're out there, Mr. Monsanto, drink your Roundup. Show us how safe it is. Otherwise, if you're out there and you're spraying your lawn with Roundup, grow a garden instead. Farm. You're going to need it because fossil fuel prices are going to skyrocket. The more hurricanes that hit, the more we're going to see the shortage of fossil fuels. The Hurricane Harvey hit, the fossil fuel industry really hard. So be mindful, be careful, be loving, be awake, wake everybody up the best you can. Eat plants, sniff plants, love plants, put plants in your plants, and sending y'all lots of love. See you soon.